I was driving to the hotel that night, trying to ignore the uneasy chill that had settled in the air. The road stretched endlessly, trees leaning close like they were whispering to each other. It wasn't raining, but the clouds hung heavy and not a single star was visible. I checked my phone, 8:45 p.m. I was late. She had texted me earlier, "Don't keep me waiting this time." I smiled faintly. Maybe tonight would finally make things right between us. But then, as I turned onto Silent Hill Road, something strange caught my eye. The sky, which had been still moments ago, suddenly rippled with motion. A massive flock of crows filled it, thousands of them swirling above me like smoke. Their screeches were deafening, echoing through the trees. For a moment, I slowed the car, but they didn't scatter. It was as if they were circling something just ahead. I shook the thought off and kept driving. The hotel finally appeared, the Grand Haven, tall, old, and surrounded by fog that looked almost alive. The lights flickered faintly from the windows, and for some reason, most of the building was dark. Inside, the reception was lit by a single chandelier that buzzed weakly. Behind the counter, an old man looked up slowly, as if waking from a trance. "Reservation for 2, I said, forcing a polite smile. He didn't respond immediately, just stared at me with empty eyes. Then, without checking the computer, he slid the key across the desk. "Room 207, he said quietly. I looked around. The lobby clock above him showed 11:59 p.m., but the ticking sound was frozen, just 1 second away from midnight. "It's not working," I said, pointing at the clock. He didn't look up. "It hasn't for years," he muttered. The elevator ride was painfully slow. The lights flickered every few seconds, and I could swear I heard whispering behind the walls. When the door opened, the corridor was pitch dark, except for a dim yellow light flickering at the far end. Room 207 was halfway down. As I walked, I passed room 206, its door slightly open. Someone was watching me from the gap. I froze. A pale face, expressionless, still, stared through the narrow opening. The eyes followed me as I passed, unblinking. I knocked. "Hello? Sorry, just passing by." The door creaked slightly, and then slammed shut. The sound echoed through the entire floor. When I reached my room, I fumbled with the key and slipped inside quickly, heart pounding. The room smelled faintly of damp wood and old perfume. Everything was still. I turned the light on. It flickered once before settling dimly. She wasn't there yet. I sat on the bed and texted her. "I'm here, room 207. Where are you?" No reply. A few minutes later, I heard footsteps outside, slow, deliberate. They stopped outside my door, then came a knock. Finally, I smiled nervously and opened it. But the corridor was empty. At the far end, near room 206, I saw something that made my blood freeze. The door that had slammed earlier was now wide open, swaying slightly as if someone had just walked in. I walked closer, curiosity overpowering fear. The room was dark, but I could make out furniture, an old bed, a cracked mirror, and a faint shape standing near the window. A woman. Her back was turned, hair hanging loose. "Hello?" I asked, my voice shaking. "Are you?" She turned, and the face wasn't human, just hollow, skin stretched too tight, lips torn into a silent scream. I stumbled back and ran. At the lobby, the receptionist was still sitting, motionless. "There's someone in room 206, I shouted. He didn't move, just blinked very slowly. "Sir," he said after a pause, "room 206 has been locked for 10 years. I looked back up the stairs. The elevator doors were open, and faintly I could hear humming, a woman's voice singing something soft and broken. My phone buzzed in my hand. I looked down, a message. "Greater than, I'm waiting for you, room 206. I ran out of the hotel. The air outside felt alive, cold and heavy. As I turned on the car engine, I glanced in the rearview mirror. At one of the top windows of the hotel, room 206, a figure stood watching. A woman, pale and still, with hair falling over her face. The same face that had smiled at me in every photo she sent before she disappeared